We have almost hit the 2-month mark of doing this manifestation marathon. And what I have noticed thus far is how grounded I feel, how much more coherent my manifestations are becoming, how much more readily I see them. They're coming in quicker and quicker, even when it comes to tiny little things. And what I received a download around at the beginning of the year was to go back, reread all of Florence Scovel Shinn's books, find the affirmations that resonate, and create videos so that I can repeat them and have a tool that is readily accessible because repetition is key. And having something that will support you in that repetition is what you want. So I went ahead and created it, not only for myself, but also for you. If you feel like joining in, you can check out the playlist called Mindset Magic. I have all of the videos that I'm utilizing, and you can follow from week one all the way up until the point where we are at now. You can watch them all. You can see what affirmations I was using and then what my experience was that week. The way I have it set up is the affirmation will hit, and then the video, the recap is posted right after. So you can see the affirmation, you can see what I experienced. So you have an idea of not only how to use them, but what I was experiencing at that time. Because with manifestation, you are going to be going through a process of deprogramming, especially in the beginning phases. I have found that it usually takes 90 days to program in a new habit, only one habit, but in life, you're a multifaceted being. So there are many different things that could start to unravel, new things that could be asked to be implemented to support you. And I share all the different styles and techniques of healing that I have utilized to support me in gaining the results that I have because I've already had not affirmations, but manifestations, and probably even more than that. And I'm not even fully aware of it. I find that in looking back and taking some quiet time, that's usually when I can see all of them. And some of them are really tiny little ones that people may not even equate to a manifestation. But you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take stock of that. I love that because I know there are so many more tiny manifestations that have been coming true, that have been happening. And this weekend, what I did was I just heard take time to give thanks. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Because gratitude is what brings in a lot of this good energy or calls in more of this good energy. But if you're constantly manifesting and you never take time simply to turn off the need to call in more and taking time to just slow down, get grateful, take stock of all the beautiful things I have in my life. I feel that's part of the manifestation process. And this manifestation marathon is not only to call things into my life, it's to cultivate a positive mindset because I want to have a positive mindset that will allow me to be of greater service to those around me, to those that this manifestation practice brings into my life. I want to be as much as a gift as they are to me. And this practice is not only allowing me to rewire my mindset, it's allowing me to see where I've had limiting beliefs. It's allowing me to bring in energy that will support me in healing. It's teaching me how to delegate energetically. There's so many different things where I'm learning healthier boundaries. I'm learning new systems that will support me personally on my journey and where I am at now. My sister and I have a joke. There's a saying, we play it by ear. She says play it by year. And I love that because in a year's time, you can gauge really what has transpired, what's taking place, what worked, what didn't, what you utilized, what happened. That's why I'm so big on taking the end of the astrology year, which we are at now. We are in Pisces. This poster was the first one I ever made. I have since corrected it. You probably can't see, but I corrected the spelling. But these astrology calendars are available to you down in the resources. But at the end of the astrological year, especially Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces season, that's when I love to take stock. Truly, it starts in Scorpio. That's the death, rebirth, and but when I really start planning for and taking stock of what happened that year, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Because if you want certain things to manifest in your life, but you aren't willing to change, there's going to be a big disconnect. You need to ask, who do I want to be in order to get to the results that I want? And those results will vary from person to person. But I love that these last 3 seasons have been all about that. And now that we're in Pisces season, we're gearing up for the new year. I really love that I listen to my guides. I started this practice because I know it's going to serve me, and it already is. But I just really want to drive home the essence of grace, gratitude, and seeking out peace. Because in this manifestation marathon, there have been times where my affirmations do not register, they do not hit, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And so, what I will do is I will adjust the affirmations to fit not only where I'm at that day, but what things I have, but the things that I have going on, and also what I'm instinctively and intuitively being asked to manifest. Because there are times, especially when you don't have an idea of what you want, you're in your practice, you're in a lull, as I like to call it. Because I had a big manifestation happen about 2 weeks ago now. We're about at 3 weeks, and my body has not only been acclimating to a whole new lifestyle outside of this practice, but also allowing my nervous system to regulate, to allow me to heal and confront fears and limitations. So it's been this interesting dance of acclimation that I've been doing the last 3 weeks. So my affirmation practice, yes, I am showing up, but I don't really have this extreme desire on what to say. Some people know what they want to say, what they want to call in. But for me, I go into it with a little bit of hesitation because I want it to be for my highest good and my highest alignment, not me forcing my will upon reality. I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with source, infinite spirit. I want to make sure for it's the highest good of everyone, not just what I want, because we're humans. We can't see the bigger picture. We're also limited to what we want. And especially if we haven't done our healing work, our desires may not truly be what is for our greatest good and our highest alignment, our soul's calling. So I'm very cautious. In this last week, I've been very cautious on what I'm speaking, what I'm saying, because words have power, especially when you are very tuned in. You have a practice that you're being very mindful of. And I found that my affirmations, when I get into these spaces, tend to be either very specific, that have to do with that day, that help me focus on the present, or the affirmations will become so broad and encapsulating that it brings me peace because I'm not trying to control it. It allows God to come in, do his thing, support me, and it allows the clarity of those broader statements to come to fruition for me. Is as I've gone through this week with the affirmations, I felt a lot of that insecurity would be the word, truly. But it's interesting how I just kept showing up. I kept saying the affirmations. I kept trusting my intuition. What I found as the week went on is my affirmations started to become a lot more clear. I knew what those broader statement or those finite statements were meaning, what they were leading up to. And I really just had to sit in a state of trust. And Pisces season is all about infinite trust. It's about trusting your intuition so fully that you can literally walk in a room that is pitch black and you know exactly where you're going. And for a lot of us, that's hard because there's a need to control and a want to control that comes from fear, which is natural. It's a very humanistic nature or trait. And what I found is this week, I really had to just trust my affirmations. And it was very interesting how they all just kind of blossomed. I'm just picturing a rose coming into bloom. And I really want some rose scented something in my life. Sorry, that's so random, but I just want I just want roses. See, the intuition, the inner knowing is just popping, and I know that this is going to serve me. Do I know why? I do not, but I know that it's coming in and it makes me feel good and it's in alignment for whatever reason. So I'm going to trust it. I'm going to table that comment for now and come back to it because I know it's going to come up because this is how this manifestation practice has been working. I will get this deep trusting inner knowing that it's working. I have to trust and let it go. Keep going with the affirmations and trust that whatever is coming in is going to come in when it needs to. For example, I just picked up an easel off the street and I just made a comment about mentally about, oh, I love painting. I was handed a beautiful easel. I got to talk to one of the owners and just his name was Odd Todd. Such a beautiful soul. And we just got to laugh, just the interactions. I'm just so blessed with so many beautiful people that are a golden link in the chain of my success. And that was one of the affirmations. And I'll be honest, I struggled that with that one because in our minds, we think I need to know the outcome for these affirmations, or else why am I doing it? And I was saying the affirmations without having any outcome in mind. I was just simply showing up and trusting the process, which I think can feel a little bit backwards, especially in regards to the way people teach this. They say you need to know, you need to feel it, you need to have a clear visual. I had none of those. All I knew was I would not be led astray, the words would find me, and if I showed up for the practice and I was present, that the answers would come. Because when you show up with that practice, you're going to wrestle with some feelings that aren't good. And the thing is, you wrestle with them, you heal them, you hold them, and then guess what? Then it becomes the good feeling that everyone says you should have when you have these manifestation practices. Sometimes you got to wrestle to get there. And how you get there is by showing up. So this week I showed up in my full Piscean energy. I showed up, I did the affirmations, I trusted that moment what was coming up was what I needed. I trusted my body. If I was saying affirmations that didn't feel right, I would find the words and I would wait till my body felt like it was in alignment and then I would roll with it. I trusted this process. I showed up and showing up is key. And I'm going to keep showing up because I'm really enjoying this practice. I'm really enjoying how my life is unfolding. And I am so excited to clock this. I'm so excited that I am recording all of this so I can have it not only as a way to help other people, but to just be able to look back on this year and see what God has done for me, what has transpired through this practice. So, if you are someone that wants to begin, go back to the very beginning and you can watch all of my videos up to this point. You can see my beginning process because we are at about the 60-day, which means we're about to really solidify in a new practice, which has also included like 3 or 4 new practices and styles of healing that I do, which I think is important because a lot of people talk about just doing manifestation, but that's BS. I haven't just been doing manifestation. I've been doing nervous system regulation. I cleansed and cleared my entire body surrounding the masculine wound of emasculation and control. And that has really, I believe, set me up for a lot of success. It's also allowed me to be very vulnerable, honest, and not in control, but more coherent in regards to what I need to do to support myself in this practice, because masculine energy is all about action. And I want to make sure my actions are in alignment. And if you have woundings in your energy field, that's going to skew your viewpoint and your ability to see the bigger picture and your ability to allow in support from the divine source, which has been very crucial. And I love how much support I'm getting. It's amazing how much the father and mother love me so much. And I know that they love everyone the same, because this divine access is allotted to all of us if we so choose to allow it in. And there's many different styles and techniques in which you can call in this energy. For everyone it's different. For me, I use the blueprint of light. It's something that I created, and I is now available for everyone to utilize. It is I call it a tough love energy healing program. It's a no BS. You're getting in there. You are clearing out deep emotional ties that you have, not only to your past, but your generational possible trauma and the collective and communal energies. So it is pretty intense, but you can do it at your own pace. But it's for those who really want deep change. If you're looking just for plain nervous system regulation, the physical support, that's the one that I would recommend. And that'll open up your body and tell you, hey, I may need deeper stuff, because the body ties into all the suppressed emotions that we have, it connects us into the world around us, and the physical body connects into the energetic systems as well. So it depends on the person where you're at, but there's so many different practices. I also have a workout routine. I'm also doing a heavy metal detox. I just started that this week. I do cleanses regularly. I share everything I do every single week, so you can get a bigger understanding of what I'm doing, because it's not just manifestation. Manifestation is the outcome everybody wants, but I don't want to say they don't, but I feel the to get the most from these practices, you have to look at your whole life, because your mindset attaches into your habits, and your habits are what call in certain emotions into your life. So if you want to address your mindset, you're going to have to start addressing your habits. And when you start shifting your habits, that's when the emotions start to come up, because most people form habits that concrete these emotions in so they don't have to deal with them. And that's why I think it's important to understand that when you start these manifestation mindset um, practices, you're going to come into contact with the habits and the thoughts that have kept you where you're at. And that's just a reality of it. So, having extra support as you go through that, especially around nervous system regulation, is crucial. It's clutch, let me tell you, because it's going to allow you to have greater ease, greater support, and it'll help you get where you want to go faster. And I know most people want instant manifestations, and I'm just learning that, it's just a part of the process to trust that the manifestations will come in when they need to. But every time I do these practices every day, I find that they're being reinforced, and I'm feeling more excited for when they come in. I ask God, show me how to show up today. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to be present. And I trust that everything I'm doing now is leading me to the manifestations that I desire, because I have some big ones. I have, I believe, like three really big ones around my business, um, my physical goals, and marriage. Those are my three big ones. And I know that I'm building a foundation that's going to support all of those. And I'm trusting the process, because even if you have tiny little affirmations that are just being spoken for this day with no big goal, That tiny shift in your day-to-day practice will support you in building habitual practices that will call in that energy, that life, that personality, that partner, that job, those clients, whatever it is you want. That is where the magic happens, is in the reps. So this week was just a repetition. It was all about showing up, the reps, being present, and just being grateful. Sometimes that's all you need to do in your practices. And I know that every single week is going to bring something a little bit different, but I just really want to hit home the importance of having a consistent practice, having a nervous system regulation practice, and finding gratitude in the lulls, in the quiet times, because that's a moment of rest. Take that rest, baby. Trust me. Take it, absorb it, love it, be grateful, and then get ready for the next day to show up and be as present as you can. Check out the rest of the videos in the Mindset Magic. I have it linked below in the resources, but I hope you all have a blessed week, and we'll see you in the next video.